Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time to my channel. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet. So tonight we're going to be doing several courses. There are going to be three. The first course is going to be a cucumber and tomato and red onion salad, followed by duck confit with a sour cherry sauce, roasted potatoes and duck fat, and sweet and sour red cabbage. And to top it all off, we're going to have spice bread topped with foie gras and peeled grapes that are going to be soaked in cognac and flambéed. So let's get some prep done and let's get cooking. I'm going to be making a cucumber, tomato, and red onion salad. Now, this is actually the night before. I'm going to be slicing up my onions and putting them in the vinaigrette. Putting them in the vinaigrette the night before allows the vinaigrette to mellow overnight, and the onions will stay crispy. Thinly slice your red onion. Since my red onion is small, I will utilize the entire thing. If your red onion is larger, only utilize half. Preheat your oven to 150 degrees centigrade or 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so we're going to be starting our spice bread. We're going to add in our rye flour, followed by our spices, our baking soda and baking powder, and we're going to mix that together. Then we're going to add our honey, incorporate, and our milk, our sugar, our egg, almost last, our butter, and then we're going to add in a dash of salt. You're going to add your mixture to your parchment lined loaf pan. So in my sweet and sour red cabbage, I like to have a little bit of salt pork. Here in Thailand, I was not able to find it, so I actually made my own. I had some pork back, add with a 5-to-1 ratio of salt and water. You can add a little bit of sugar if you so choose. I didn't, but this particular step is 100% optional. You do not need to put salt pork in your sweet and sour red cabbage. But cheers everyone, as Julia Child says, I always cook with wine and sometimes it goes in the food. Cut up your salt pork if you're utilizing it and set it aside. Thinly slice your red cabbage and also set it aside. So another thing that I do with my sweet and sour red cabbage that a lot of people don't do, I actually chop up a few grapes really finely and I add them to the sweet and sour red cabbage. That way you don't have to use as much sugar. Remove your spice bread from the oven and allow it to cool in the pan. Next, remove it from the pan and place on a cooling rack. Okay, so we're going to be starting our sweet and sour red cabbage. So first I'm going to be turning on my induction and I'm going to put it on 6. And then I'm going to add a little bit of duck fat. Now traditionally you would be using butter, but I'm doing duck confit, so I'm going to use a little bit of duck fat. So that's going to go in and I'm going to allow that to melt. Then I'm going to be adding my salt pork because we want to render that. And after we render this, I'll be back. So now we're going to add in our red cabbage and our sliced grapes, or should I say diced grapes, our balsamic, reduce our temperature to 2 because we want it low and slow. We're going to stir and we're going to come back in about 30 to 45 minutes. Stir your sweet and sour red cabbage and add black pepper. To prepare your roasted potatoes, remove the ends and discard. Then slice your potatoes and add them to your roasting pan that contain your duck confit. Salt your potatoes. For your duck confit and your potatoes, you want to preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius or 430 degrees Fahrenheit. Place your duck and your potatoes in the oven and allow them to roast for 40 minutes. Normally, when I make this dish, I used English cucumbers. However, I didn't have any, so I have regular cucumbers. What I do is I slice them in half and take out the seeds. Remove your red onions from your vinaigrette and place with your tomatoes and cucumbers. Add some additional olive oil and red wine vinegar along with salt and pepper to your reserved vinaigrette. Cover and shake in order to emulsify. If you want to give your salad a more fresh taste, chop some parsley and add. For a little bit of je ne sais quoi, chop some dill and add to your dish. Dress your salad with the vinaigrette and toss and set aside for approximately 15 minutes before serving. Plate your salad and enjoy course number 1. Can you tell us how your first course was?
Very, very delicious.
After 40 minutes, your duck confit and your potatoes roasted in duck fat are roasted to golden perfection, so remove them from the oven. Now plate course number 2 with your duck confit, your roasted potatoes, and your sweet and sour red cabbage. Add the optional sour cherry sauce. Now allow yourself to savor course number 2.
Duck confit have a great balance between sweet, sour and salt. You can see I eat all this best food.
To prepare the final course, slice the ends off of your spice bread and discard. Then slice 2 pieces of the spice bread per serving. Place them side by side and cut utilizing a cookie cutter, or in my case an egg ring, as you want your spice bread to be slightly larger than your foie gras. To plate, add your spice bread forming a circle. Then top with your foie gras. There is a vegan option available, and that link will be available in the description. Finally, let's make our cognac infused flambéed peeled grapes. I don't like grape skins, so whenever I use grapes, I generally peel them. There are 2 ways to peel a grape. One, you can blanch it and then immerse it into an ice bath and peel it that way, but I'm going to show you a simpler way, and that's you get it, you cut it in half, you get a measuring spoon, and you simply scoop it out. And voila, you have a peeled grape. Start by adding 2 to 4 teaspoons of butter to your saute pan. Turn your cooktop to 6 or medium-high heat. Melt your butter until it starts to shimmer. Do not allow it to brown. Then you're going to add your peeled grapes. Saute them for approximately 3 to 4 minutes. Then add your cognac and light with a long lighter, moving the pan back and forth until the flames subside, which indicate that the alcohol has been cooked off. Cook for another 1 to 2 minutes until the liquid has thickened and is almost gone. Top your foie gras and spice bread mixture, and bon appetit.
My last food today is spicy bread with flambéed grape. I want to say this, I feeling every taste these dishes in, and this tastes very, very gorgeous. My compliment to Tilted Ground Gourmet. Cheers!
I would like to thank you for continuing to watch the Tilted Crown Gourmet. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, as this assists with the YouTube algorithm.